So, like 4 sessions. First day, why we go for Python? If you learn this course, what kind of opportunities you can get in the industry? That one we discussed. Second day, Python history we discussed, and Python installation, Python software, how we can install in our local machine, we discussed. The next one is like Python environment setup in our local multiple ways. Run the program in the command prompt, run the program in the VS Code, run the program in the Jupyter Notebook, run the program in the Google Colab, and the online editor also we discussed. Fourth day, just we created one Hello World program. It's a matter of one simple one statement only. Okay, print to Hello World. But what we discussed internally, what is the procedure we discussed or not? You created one simple hello.py file and you run that file, you get the output. But internally, what happens? How you can get that particular output internally we discussed or not? Okay, so these are the things we discussed so far. So can anyone tell me? I want to create one simple hello world program. How we can? Everyone knows. Create one file hello.py. The next one is what? Print hello world. After that, I want to run this program. How we can run it? Py command hello.py. Done. Now you can see the hello world output. But my question is what what is the internal procedure? What is the process? Whenever you run the command, you get this output, right? What is the process? How we can get this output? That is the question. Anyone knows? We already discussed, na? So
We have to create the file.
first of all, see whatever the code you written in the editor or somewhere. Terminology wise, that code we can say like a source code. That is called as a source code. Here, my file name is what? Here, my file name is what? Hello.py. What is my source code? Just print hello world. That's it. Okay, in Python, if you want to create one hello world program, if you want to write, not like Java. If it is like a Java, you have to create a class public static void main, and then you have to write system.out.println that much. Okay, those many lines of code you have to write it. But here, only one line. Okay, done. Whenever you run the command, what is the command to run this file? What is the command to run this file? One.
py space hello.py.
Yeah. What is the command to run this Python file? We have a command py, okay, and then the file name is like what? Hello.py. Okay, my question is very simple. I have a new mission today only. Okay, I bought a new mission. Okay, I have bought a Lenovo laptop. Lenovo laptop. Whenever I open the command prompt, I install softwares and everything. Softwares is nothing but operating system I install. I open command prompt. I open command prompt. If I type py, can anyone tell me what exactly the message you can get it? It is a new laptop. In the command prompt, just I type py. I didn't install any software. Whenever you type py, not only py, if I type like Java, exactly what message you can get it?
Java is not recognized as
Not
an
recommended.
You can get right. Py is not found as an internal or external command, or Java is not found as an internal or external command or not. It means, okay, it's a kind of message like this. Let me open this. In my mission already Java is there. In my mission already Python also there. Okay, so that I can see something. But for example, in my mission, Python is not there. This kind of message you can get it. That command is not recognized as an internal or external command. Not only Python, not only Java. If you try to access one command in your mission, if that command is not available in your mission, then that time you can get the message is like is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay. Now, if Python command is not available, what you have to do? In your mission, in your new mission, Python command is not available. Then what you have to do? In your mission, Java is not there. What you have to do? You have to install that software, right? Yes or no? You have to install that software or not? You have to install that Python software. You have to install that software. That's it. Yes or no? We need to install that software. Okay. Now here, I already installed that software so that there is no issue with my py command. After that, I can run hello.py. Whenever I run this one, I can see the output is like what? I can see the output is like in my command prompt itself. I can see the output is like this hello world. So hello world. But my question is, whenever you run this particular command, you can see the output hello world, right? But in between, what is the procedure? Okay, what happened in the background to get this output hello world? That is the question. Okay, the answer is very simple. Whatever the code you written, that code you can say like a source code. First, that source code is going to compile first. That source code is going to compile. Who is going to compile? There has, it's a program only. There has a translator program is there. Translators. What is that? Terminology wise, translators. There has two types of translators you can see. One is like compiler, another one is like interpreter.
Interpreter.
One is like compiler, another one is like interpreter. Interpreter. First, whatever the code you written, that is source code, that source code, first it is going to compile. Okay. Now, once it is like compiled, it is like a low level language. Low level is nothing but machine can understand. Okay. Human cannot. It is turned to be like a low level language. Whenever this low level language in your hand, who can generate the output and display the output in the command prompt? In my mission, microprocessor can do that work or not? Okay, now here to generate the output, microprocessor should take this compiled code and generate that output or not. But the microprocessor is like operating system based. It is not understand this particular Python compiled code or not. So somebody has to help to my microprocessor to generate this particular output or not. Who can help this compiled code? My operating system microprocessor is not able to understand the Python compiled code. Who can help my processor to understand this particular Python compiled code to generate the output? Means there has one more program is there, that is called as a PVM. PVM stands for Python Virtual Machine. Python virtual machine. This PVM helps to my microprocessor to generate this output or not. This is the procedure in which, okay, in the background. Okay, this much okay, this much process is going to run. The source code first it is going to compile, and then that compiled code is not understandable by the microprocessor to generate the output. To my microprocessor here, my Python virtual machine helps to understand this particular compiled code to generate the output. Once it generates the output, okay, you can see the output, it is expected result or not, you can check it. This is the procedure or not. Understood everyone? All are okay? How the program is going to run? Okay, from our end as a developer, this translator, okay, if it is like a Java, you can see the compiled code. To run that Java C file name.java, like that you can run it. But Python not required. Directly you can run the program, but in the background, if the compilation and everything is going to taken care, everything is going to taken care. Understood everyone? Got my point? Okay. How it is going to work? Okay. Up to here we completed, right? Last 4 sessions. Okay. Now we can go with the new topic. The new topic is like variables. Okay, the topic name is like what? Any programming language you can take it. This concept is common, not only for Python. Okay, this concept is common for Python, Java, .NET, PHP, JavaScript. This concept is common for any programming language, but the syntax may be different. Python, you may create the variable like this. Java, different way you can create. Okay, another one, different way you can create, but the concept we are going to use for the same cause, any programming language. Okay, if you know C, in the C how you create a variable may be different syntax, but the purpose is like same. The purpose is like same. So why we go for variables? That is the first question. Okay, any programming language you can take it. Why we go for variables? Okay, the next one is like how to create variables in Python. In Python, that's it. Okay, now variable syntax. Okay, how to create variable means variable syntax you should learn. At the time of learning the syntax only, we are going to discuss about the naming conventions also. Naming conventions also we are going to discuss. Okay, so first one is like why we go for variables. Okay, any programming language anyone can answer. You can take any programming language, not only Python, either C if you have an idea, Java if you have an idea. Okay, the concept is same, but the syntax may be different. Why we go for variables? Hmm? Why we go for variables? Come on. Okay, very simple, right? I have some data is there in my program. I have some data. That data I want to use for future purpose. For example, that's my requirement. I have some amount is there. That amount I want to use for future purpose. First, what we have to do? You have to store that amount somewhere or not. Yes or no? You have to keep that amount somewhere or not. That means you have to store it. You have to save it. Same theory you can apply here. I have some data in my program. I have some data. Okay, that data I want to store for future purpose. Then how it is possible means by using variables it is possible. Okay, why we go for variables means simple answer we can tell. Okay, by using variables we can store some data, that's it. Okay, by using variables we can store some data. Okay, how it is going to store? How it is going to store? Okay, the memory allocation and everything next level. My requirement is like why we go for variable. That particular question answer you can tell like by using variables we can store some data, we can represent some data, that's it. What is data? Data is nothing but facts. Facts is nothing but it's like a numeric. Okay, it's like a alphabets, it's like some symbols, all are come under data only or not in our programming languages. So the first question answer is like why we go for variables means you can simply tell like simple answer you can. Okay, you can store the data by using variables. Okay, if you want to store the data then you can go with the variables. Then you can go with the variables. Now tell me how we can create the variables in Python. That is the question. How we can create the variables in Python? Come on, how we can create the variables in Python? That is the question, right? Okay, the next level is like how we can create the variables in Python. Very simple answer. Now you should know about the syntax. So how we can, very simple syntax. Okay, first you have to write a variable name and then just you can write like variable value. That's it. You can say like a value. Syntactically, if you want to create a variable in Python, this particular one may be different. This is common for any programming language. But if you want to create a variable in Python, how we can create variable name and a variable value? That's it, simple. Variable name and a variable value. Now my question is, okay, create a variable to store, okay, 1000. Create a variable to store this particular value 1000. Okay, I know that this 1000 is like represents the amount, okay, 1000 rupees for example. Now tell me how we can create a variable in Python. First, syntactically, what you have to do? First, you have to create a variable name. Can anyone tell me what is my variable name? What is my variable name? The name can be anything, just you can put like yes or something like this, okay, or a b c like this. After that the value is like what, 1000, you can put it. But if you want to put some experience, okay, don't put like a b c d E like that. Okay, don't put this kind of, okay, names. Whenever you use like a name, that name should represent something about your action. Okay, something about your action is nothing but in this case my requirement is what, store 1000, right? This 1000 is what, 1000 is nothing, it's a it's a amount, I know that. As a developer, okay, who written this code, 1000 represents what, it's a some amount. Okay, then that time don't use a b c d that kind of names, just give the proper name. Naming convention is very very important. So if it is like really 1000, then that time just give some valid name. Okay, as you said, just put like an amount. The amount is like what? Amount equals to 1000. Like this, you can create one variable or not. Yes or no? Okay, if you want to create a variable, okay, to store such, create a variable to store such. Okay, I know this. Sachin is like what? It's like a player, right? Player. So how we can? You want me to put like amount equals to Sachin? Amount equals to Sachin. Syntactically 100% value. My syntax is what? Variable name and the variable value. Yes, syntactically 100% correct. But the Sachin I know. Okay, the Sachin is like a one player. So that player name is Sachin. Instead of put like amount or something, just you can give like proper name or player name, whatever it is, you can give. Whenever you use like a name, okay, that name can be variable or function or whatever it is. Okay, naming convention is very, very important. Okay, you written some name means by seeing that name, I can understand what it represents. Got the point? Okay, this is the way I can create a variable or not. I can create a variable where in Python. In Python. Now I want to discuss something about some error messages on variables. Some error messages on variables. Okay, let's go. To run the program, I said like how many environments I added to run the program. One is like command prompt, another one VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, online editors like this, multiple you can use it. Let's go with the Google Colab today. So if you want to set up the Google Colab, nothing is required. Go to this website, colab.research.google.com. Okay. If you not log in, you can log in with your Google account. Nothing is required. Colab.research.google.com. Let me share in the chat. Okay. Click on this. Click on this link. Log in with your Gmail. Once you logged in, go to the file. Go to the file and open. See this new notebook in the drive. First option you can click it. New notebook in the drive. Now my Google Colab, these people provide you the environment for Python, okay, to practice purpose, whatever it is, okay, you can do it. Now see, once you open, it is looks like this, the user interface. Now untitled IPYNB is there, right? I already discussed the untitled, you can give the name, okay, the name is like what? Okay, I'm practicing like a variable, so that I written like variables. IPY Python notebook, interactive Python notebook. Okay, it's a notebook. Now see here. code text. There has two options or there default code only. Now you can write the code. I want to write one variable which represents some amount. So how we can write it? Come on, amount equals to 1000. Done. Now you written this code. Na? Just I want to run this one. How we can run now? Now you can run like this. Now see, it is running now. If there is no errors, nothing. There is no errors, nothing. You can see, okay, some amount is like 1000 like that. See, there is no errors, nothing. Now, if you want to check the amount is 1000 or not, how we can check it? Come on. How we can check the amount? You can see the helpers also. Now, what is my amount value? My amount value is what? 1000 or not? So, without any errors, you created one variable. Whenever you want to use that variable, yes, you can use it. Then you can get the value is like 1000 or not. Yes or no? Okay, now I'm going to write something like this. Now onwards, you have to think and tell. Now, if I run this one, what happened? If I run this one, what happened? If I run this one, what happened? Come on, think. Now see, you
Error.
created a variable, okay, successfully created, so that if I use that variable, okay, 1000, so that 1000 you can see. Yes. But if you come to this one, player name is like what? It's like a variable only. Think like
Yeah.
that. This variable created or not created? This variable is created or not created? Come on, tell me.
Not create.
Not created, right? Okay, if you not create a variable, still, okay, you are trying to use it. Then that time, see, you can get the error. What you know? Name player name is not defined. Like that, you can get the error. Can you check? See, name player name. Okay, this particular player name is not defined. Without defining only, you are trying to use it or not. See, error messages are very, very important. Why you know? Whenever you write a program, okay, if you get some error message, you have to read it properly. In future, if you get the same error, if you see the same error message, that time you should come to know like what exactly the fix is required for that particular error. Like that, you have to practice. If any time if you get the error, don't, okay, by seeing that one, most of the times you not read that error, but you should habituate to read that error properly. Okay, one time if you read it, you may not understand. Two times, three times, you have to read it. In future, if you get the same error, you should come to know like what exactly the fix is required. Understood? Like that, you have to understand the error messages. Got my point? So that focus on error messages. Why? Because these error messages only keep on repeating in your program. These messages only, okay, there has, okay, 10 to 15 messages keep on repeating those only. Okay, if you know the error message and their fix, then that time in future, if you see the same error, you can easily understand. You can easily come to know like how to fix it or not. Got my point? So error messages are like very, very important. Okay, so if you write like player name, you can get like what? Player name is not defined. Now tell me, you know, player name, you are trying to use it. You are trying to use the player name. Okay, you are trying to use this particular player name reference, player name variable, but that is not defined. So if you not defined, still you are using one member, then the time you can get this error or not. Yes or no? Okay, I don't want this error, I want Sachin. So what you have to do? I don't want that error, I want Sachin. Then what you have to do? You have to create, you have to
Yes,
create one variable like Sachin or not. Now you can run it. Now you can see, okay, you can see my player name is what? My player name is what? Sachin or not? Yes or no? Agree with me? All are okay. Okay then. I want to create one more variable. Okay, location equals to Mumbai. My location equals to Mumbai. See, created or not created? Variable created or
created.
not? Yes, created. Now, can anyone tell me what's my answer? What is my answer?
Mumbai.
Okay,
Case
now if you
sensitive.
observe here, if you see again error, you can get a name LOC is not defined. Well, you know,
Yes.
you created a variable with what? Lowercase, but you are trying to access, okay, uppercase LOC. Okay, now you get the error is like what? LOC is not defined. Can anyone tell me one statement by seeing this one? Why this error message came?
Python is
One,
case
my
sensitive.
Python is a case
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 sensitive
sensitive.
sensitive.
or not? My Python is a case sensitive or not? Yes or no? Okay, whenever it is like a case sensitive, you have to use like what? Okay, if it's like uppercase ML, lowercase only, don't change this one. That the reason, okay, it gives me error like what? LOC is not defined. Now, if I write like this, if I write like this, then the time, see that, you can get like what? Mumbai. Understood everyone? Color okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you observe here, okay, if you know C, okay, if you don't know Java, leave it. If you know C, okay, in the C program, if you want to create a variable name, okay, how you can create a variable name most of the times? How we create a variable name? Come on, how we create a variable name? Okay, int number equals to 10, like this, right? Yes, sir. Number one equals to 10. But if you come to the Python syntax, this one is missing or not? Yes or no? This one is missing or not? This is what you know, this is like a type of your data. It represents the type of your data, but in Python there is no type for this particular variable. My variable can hold any kind of data or not. Agree with me all, or with this statement? In Python there is no type for the variable. My variable can hold any kind of data or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
My variable can hold any kind of data or not?
Yes, sir.
Understood? Okay, then I have one statement is there. Okay, if you know, okay, just justify that statement. Okay, this statement is like valid like this. You can tell. Okay, the statement what you know. Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed programming language. Okay, if the statement is like it's the valid statement only. Okay, can anyone justify? Hey, because of this reason, yes, Python is dynamically typed programming language like this. Can anyone tell? I said like Python is like a dynamically typed programming language. That is 100% valid statement. Can anyone justify? Can anyone prove it? Yes, this is dynamically typed programming language like that.
Because it is
Uh,
accept any data. It's not database.
Okay, let's. I want to discuss something about Java or C. Okay, let's take like um, 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, now see in Java, if you want to create a variable, if you want to create a variable in Java, how we can create a variable? Okay, just I want to compare. I there no need to learn Java. Okay, for this, just I want to write. If you want to create a variable in Java, how we can create a variable? You know, int the amount equals to 1,000. In the amount equals to 1,000. Whenever you create a variable like this, internally what happened? Internally what happened? Anyone knows? Whenever you create a variable like this, internally what happened? Okay, very simple. Here, how many sections are there? Okay, so same variable if you want to create in Python, how we can create? Amount equals to 1,000 like this, right? So here, how many sections are there? Tell me. Three sections. One, two, and three sections. If you observe these three sections, first one is like what? A data type. Second one is like what? Variable name. Third one
Variable.
is what? Value.
Value.
You come to the Python. Okay, the first one is like what? Variable name. Second one is like what? Variable value. There is no data type for this particular one. So come to the Java. So whenever you create a variable based on the data type, okay, what is my data type? Int. Based on the data type, first it is going to allocate the memory. Okay, if it is like int, how much memory allocated, you know, in Java? If it is like int, how much memory allocated, you know? The memory allocated how much? 4 bytes. If it is like int, exactly the memory allocated how much, you know? 4 bytes memory got allocated. Okay, first memory got allocated. See, in Java, first memory allocated. Inside the memory, 4 bytes is nothing but unlimited or limited. 4 bytes is nothing but limited or unlimited? Obviously limited, right? 4 bytes means it's a limited, this much area only. In this limited space, how much value you want me to keep? Which value you want me to keep it? 1000 I want to keep it. Yes or no? Okay, now memory allocated and place the 1000, but the 1000 place somewhere, right? Some location I placed 1000. This location address, if I know, then only I can get the 1000. That location address, you have to give some name or not. That location address name is what, you know? That variable name. So the variable name is pointing to your memory location or not. Variable name is pointing to your memory location. Got my point? Yes or no? In Java, okay, int, it is going to allocate 4 bytes memory. In the 4 bytes memory, first memory allocated, first allocated the memory, and then place the value. Okay, so in that particular memory you placed 1000, that memory location address I want, so that address is nothing but the name of the variable or not. That's it. Okay, this is the procedure for what? This is the procedure for what? This is the procedure for, okay, Java.NET all. Now my question is what, you know? Okay, for example, here also I want to take like Java only. For example, I have int number equals to like this I return. Okay, na? Like this I return. Now tell me, is it valid or invalid in Java? Is it like valid or invalid? Okay, don't worry. Procedure tell me first. Int, int is nothing but data type. Based on the data type, first allocate the memory. How much memory allocated? How much memory allocated?
4 bytes.
4 bytes. Okay, limited or unlimited? 4 bytes means
Limited.
4 bytes means limited or unlimited? It's like a limited space. That memory location, okay, name is what? The address, okay, name is what? Number. In this particular address, I want to keep this value or not? Can anyone tell me? In the 4 bytes limited space, I want to keep this value. Is it like exceeded the memory location? Whatever the memory is allocated, that is enough for this particular value. By seeing this one only, you can tell 1000, that is inside the memory only. But this much big number, it is exceeded or not? This memory is enough or not enough? It is like exceeded, right? So that now you can get the error is like what? Come on, what is the error you can get it? What is the error you can get it? Okay, let's go to, okay, Java first. Java, how we can? Online editor, online Java editor. Now you can take any one of the editor. I want to take like a tutorial point. Okay, now see, in Java, just I want to create one variable into amount equals to 1000. Done. Okay, in Java, semicolon is mandatory, but in Python not. We'll discuss all these things. The amount. Now see, if I run this one, yes, 1000. That means 4 bytes memory space is enough for me. But if I write something like this, okay, now it gives me an error or not. See this, integer number is too large. Okay, hey, I given like 4 bytes memory only. You are trying to keep this much big number. How we can keep it? It is like what? Integer number is like too large. Then the time you can go with the long or some other. That is next level. Now come to the Python. Now come to the Python. In Python, do we have any data type? In Python, do we have any data type for the variables? Tell me. In Python, do we have any data type for the variables? As I said, okay, there is no type. There is no, okay, there is no data type for the variables or not. There is no data type for the variables. If data type is there in Java, so that first they allocated what? Memory. First allocated memory. But here, to allocate the memory, data type is there or not there? Not there, right? Not there. So that what happened, in Python, that in Python, the memory is not allocated first. There is no data type, nothing is there. Memory is not allocated first. Whenever you use this particular amount, the amount you used, okay, amount assigned with which value? This value or not. So what these people is going to do, this particular number, how much memory is required, that much memory they allocated what? Dynamically. That means they're not allocated first. They allocated the memory for this particular one. How much is required? That much memory allocated dynamically like this or not. Whenever you allocated dynamically, then the time no problem at all. For example, 10 is there, 10 how much is required? That much memory only allocated. This much big number is there, this much big number, how much memory is required? That much memory only they allocated or not. That much memory only they allocated. Got my point? So here in Python, memory got allocated when come on, when first at the time of using. Come on. In Java, memory allocated first and then place the value. But in Python, to my value, they allocated the memory dynamically or not. That's the reason my Python is like which kind of language? It's like a dynamically typed programming language or not. We are going to allocate the memory dynamically for the variables. There is no chance of getting what? Okay, this kind of too long errors or not. Now, if you come to this, you can create a variable. My number is equals to this much big number. You can write it. Okay. Now you can execute this one. Now you can see the number. You can see the number value here or not. Come on. Here or not. Okay. That's the reason my Python is like which kind of language? My Python, you can say like which kind of language? It is like a dynamically typed programming language or not. Get with me all are? Come on.
Yes.
Okay. So that so far we discussed about how to create the variable, what kind of error message you can get it that variable is not defined. Okay, that one also very, very important. Name player is not defined. That is, name is not defined. This is vary. Okay, maybe player name, maybe location, maybe something else, whatever it is. Now onwards, is defined error wherever you see. You should understand, like you are using something that is not defined. Understood everyone? Okay, we missed one more thing also. First today we discussed about what? We discussed about keywords also, na? Keywords also or not? Yes or not? First day we discussed about keywords also. Okay, done. The next one is what? The next one is like, why Python? We can say like a dynamically typed programming language. What's our answer? They allocate the memory dynamically to that particular value. Dynamical, they are going to allocate the memory for that particular value or not. Okay. Yeah. The next one. Let me go to the code. Whatever. Okay, here I added up. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to write like, okay, full name equals to Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Okay, is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Full name equals to Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Now, if you click on this one, now see, you get the error. Now see here, you get the name error. No, you get the syntax error. At the time of exception handling, you can get some more idea. But at this moment, syntax error is nothing but what you know. Syntax error is nothing but okay, you
Yes.
not follow the guidelines. Okay, you not follow the rules. When you can get the syntax error, you know, any programming language you can take it. Each and every programming language has their own set of rules and guidelines. If you not follow those guidelines and rules, then the time you can get the syntax error or not. Now, whenever you create a variable, full name Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, then the time you can get the invalid syntax like this or not. Well, you know, okay, if it is like a variable name, it is not allow you the spaces in between or not. Okay, that's the reason you can say like a syntax error. Okay. Okay, then the next one. This is like valid or invalid. This is like valid or invalid. This is like 100% valid. Okay. The next one is like, the next one is like valid or invalid. Valid or invalid is invalid. That means my variable name should not starts with what? Should not starts with
Numbers.
a digit or not a digit. Okay, that the same digit can I place somewhere else? Can I place somewhere else? Yes, it is like 100% valid. Okay, so variable name should not starts with digit or not. Variable name should not starts with digit. Understood? Now, can I write like full name? Okay, some of the special characters can I use like this underscore? Is it valid or invalid? Now see, 100% valid. Now, can I write like a full okay name equals to Sachin? Okay, Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar SRT. It's valid or invalid? It is valid
Invalid.
or invalid. In the
Invalid.
special characters, in the special characters, underscore accepted. Okay, but this hyphen is not accepted. So it is like invalid. See syntax error. Now, full name, okay, dollar equals to Sachin. It's like valid or invalid.
Invalid.
Okay, dollar, valid or invalid. Now you can check valid or invalid. No, right? Now, the same thing, can I write like this? Okay, dollar number equals to Sachin. Is it valid or invalid? In
Invalid.
PHP, it is okay, but here it is not okay. Again, it's like a syntax error or not. Yes or no? Now, like this only you have to check it. Okay, next, if equals to Sachin, valid or invalid? If equals to
Invalid.
Sachin, variable name
Invalid.
and variable value, valid or invalid? It is like invalid. Why? Because these are the reserved words, right? Keywords. These are the reserved or keywords. We should not
Already
use
defined.
keywords or reserved words for variable names. Why? Because these are already reserved for doing some work. You should not use for any other stuff or not. So variable names you should not use. Okay, that means the keywords we should not use like a variable names or not. We should not use like a variable names. Understood? Like this, can you practice? You should. Okay, multiple combinations you have to check it. Okay, if you get an error, okay, then you can conclude like yes, it is like invalid syntax. If you not get an error, yes, it's like a valid like this or not. Understood, everyone? Okay. Okay, then now can you go to this website? Okay, go to this website. Go to Python. Okay, here the first one, introduction, just you can complete it. The next one is like installation. I already okay discussed in the videos, just you can complete it. Coding introduction. Okay, yesterday we discussed about, right? Today also we discussed the the procedure and everything. That one also completed. Okay, the variables, how you can create a variable and a variable naming convention also, just you can read it and come for the next class. First 5 topics you can read. Okay. Read first 5 topics. You can come to the next session. I'm going to add this one in our videos, YouTube. Okay, first 1 week sessions we are going to add. Okay, just you can go through those. Those are like demo sessions. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Anyone stuck with environment setup? All are able to run our program in your local machines. If you are not able to run, just let me know. If you not start, just start and let me know if you stuck with something. Okay. Any questions, anyone so far?
In Jupyter also we can't open a previously run program now, sir. It is only for temporary.
Jupyter notebook you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Jupyter notebook only
Uh,
for.
Yeah, this is like a local notebook. Are you able to open or any
Yeah,
issue?
I resolved it, sir. That PIP issue resolved, but we can't open a previously loaded program now, sir. If we
Yeah, we can
actually
open. We can open. Okay, how you know?
in
Just you
command.
can go to this. Okay, you can see all your files there itself. Okay, so let me open this one. Go to this folder first. Where is that one? Local notebook. Okay, in this, just you can run the command. What is the command name?
Jupyter notebook.
Notebook is the one, right?
Yes.
The notebook is the command.
Now new file will be created.
Uh, Now here you can see the previous programs all. Now if you observe here, test 2 is
Okay, the home
the-
page only.
in this
Uh,
one, so you can see. Okay, if you want to create a new one, okay, just here there is a button is the new. Just you can create a new Python 3. Okay, now you can create a new notebook like this. Okay,
okay,
anything
sir. Got it.
besides that one? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay, then we'll continue the main things in the next session. Okay, as I said, first 5 topics you can complete it. Okay. Okay, then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.